So what is this thing that was above the White House yesterday or last night? People are calling it a portal, but I mean, I've never seen a portal with my eyes. There are people that follow the portal thing and know how to track them with radar. Chicago, Scott Wagner does that. He was keeping track of all the portals like across the world, you know, opening up in different areas. But I went to his site to check it out to see if, or his channel to see if he had anything about it, but he didn't have anything. But yeah, kind of interesting. What's up, John?
What's up?
Oh, not much. Not much. Yeah, just doing a video. Yeah, I'll see you soon, man. Everything cool? Okay, cool. So, yeah, and I haven't found anyone else really talking about it, but it was pretty interesting. It looks like something, like it's like a cloud. It was moving independent of the other stuff that was up there, and in fact, someone has a video of a plane flying in front of it. Let's see if I can dig it up, throw it here. But it was in the sky above it. I don't know if it was directly over it or if it just looked that way from the way it was filming, from where the camera's sitting. It might not have been directly over the White House, but it could have been one of those perspective things. Pretty creepy though. It reminds me of a couple years ago when there was like a white kind of one over Mecca, some kind of, and people were saying it was like an angel. I think it was like 5 years ago. It was a while ago. But yeah, this is it's kind of creepy stuff. I'm sure someone will talk about it and there'll be more information about it. Someone that has like experience with it, or more experience than, you know, me, because I didn't know what the fuck to make of it. I have a friend here that has some experience with the portal thing, or they know about them. I'll talk to them about it. That doesn't do us any good right now though, so why the fuck should I bring it up? And I saw this, I mean, I saw it on Polis, where a lot of these pictures are from. Polis been turning into X lately. There's a lot of stuff there that would normally be relegated to the X boards, which well, because things are getting weirder, you know. This weird stuff is becoming more mainstreamed as more of it happens. But yeah, I wanted to just point out that whenever you see this kind of Pepe image with just a white background, that's a letter agency, that's a shell, that's someone who's being paid to be there. They're the only ones that use those. And in fact, a lot of the images are tagged, which are also known as corrupted Pepes. And the way you can tell is if you look over by the eye and the image, there's like a little line, you know, that comes off the eye. And there's other digital markers too. That was put up there by an agency. They use them all the time. You can tell when the shifts change, because sometimes, and I've taken screenshots of it, sometimes they'll be like on the page at once, like 3 of these. Sometimes the same ones. You know, they have like a handful of different kind of basic like Pepe expressions with the white background. And it's always some stupid topic, like about, you know, why do white women prefer black men, or some stupid thing. Just that they'll pop up a lot more when there's something important going on. Speaking of which, too, like I noticed, hashtag noticing, that whenever there's anything involving PG, CP, Hillary emails, that kind of stuff, whenever a thread about that starts, it doesn't last long. it gets pruned like within the hour, or depending on if it gets a lot of responses, like if people start posting on it. They had a good one the other night, and I always like when they show up because I try to fill out my my card collection. I have a PG card collection, and I'm only missing like 5 of them. And sometimes I'll put mine up, and you know, other anons will see them and be like, "Oh yeah, I have this one." And yeah, I think there's only like 5 that I need. But yeah, it was a good thread. It had a lot of stuff from like Rumble and BitChute. You know, documentaries. I think one of them was called Alice in Pedoland. And it's definitely worth checking out. It's 2 parts. And some crazy stuff. They're posting some screenshots from it. I don't know if I should put them up here. I might. But it's pretty ghastly stuff. I'm not gonna actually, but yeah, because I don't know, it's like bad mojo, stuff like that, you know. I don't like having that kind of stuff. Like back in the day when I first started investigating the PG stuff, I had screenshots from Frazzledrep, like the real one. People had posted it on the boards back then, and I never saw the whole thing because I didn't want to download it. You had to go to, you know, someone probably had it in their like Dropbox or something, and I was just too sketched out to download it. But an anon was posting screen grabs from it. Pretty crazy stuff. But I you know, this is when I had a PC, and I had a bunch of stuff on it, and I just felt like it had negative energy around it. I had a lot of stuff like that, like shooting events. Jesus, it stinks out here. There's 3 smells here in Waikiki. You get Homerius, pea, and pot. The 3 P's. Yeah, sometimes we just hit like a stink and keep moving. Actually, well, this place is like a bathroom for a lot of people too. But yeah, I just felt weird having it all. And then when I switched to a phone, I just don't have, you know, a lot of room to save that stuff. I mean, I could put it on, I have drives and I use on Microsoft Cloud, but I have room, I guess, but I just don't like having it. There's some stuff I wish I'd kept though, because whenever an event happens where all the stuff gets dumped, you know, I'll be saving stuff, and I'll always assume wrongly that I'll think like, well, some other anon must be saving all this stuff too. I can't be the only one saving this. Yeah, it turns out like a lot of times I was. I had some really interesting stuff from a few different things. The Las Vegas thing comes to mind. I had some footage from that, from someone on the scene with a phone who was videotaping some stuff. All kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, anytime there's a thread involving that, it gets pruned. And I understand that. But another weird thing that gets pruned all the time now are Mandela effect threads. They're on X or on Poll, they get pruned, not moved, just they get taken down, pulled out. And again, they'll only yank them if it gains momentum. Like at first, I'll see one of these kind of threads, either PG or Mandela effect, and I always like kind of, if I see a thread I like, I'll bookmark it, or now I just save it to the home page or whatever the fuck, because I can't figure out what the fuck Chrome did with their bookmarks. But anyway, that's neither here nor there nor anywhere. But if the thread kind of gets some legs and sticks around for a little bit, they'll yank it. And while I understand the PG thing, you know, they have to protect their masters. There's I don't understand why they yanked the Mandela effect thing. And it's always when people are trying to exchange some good stuff. Like I'll start laying down some of the stuff that I talk about and like, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about? And then poof, it's gone. You know, it is probably the safest place. Not the safest place. What the fuck am I talking about? It's the most free place as far as being like old internet. But old internet was fucking awesome now, man. It was awesome, but there wasn't a lot on it. You know, I got online in like 96. I had a website in 96 from my band. And we had this very long address. It was just like / TIAC XX. Well, people be like, what the fuck is that? No one really even knew what a website was back then. But yeah, I was on real early. We had broadband in my area, like 98. It was real early we got it. 98 or 99. Because by 99 I was, I got sucked into the EverQuest thing. Real hardcore. That was, oh my god, my long COVID's killing me. But, yeah, so I was on it early. And there was not a lot of people watching stuff back then. You could kind of do and say what you wanted. And it was before they had people ghettoized into different areas. Like now, you know, I don't know if you've ever seen the dead internet theory, where basically you're talking to a bunch of bots most of the time. A lot of online communities are kind of just basically echo chambers that they stick you in. And it's not only just heavily regulated, it's heavily watched, you know. I mean, it's so different now. It's so different. But it's still the only place you can go where you can kinda talk about stuff like this. But yeah, you can't do PG or I guess Mandela stuff there either. You can do videos about that stuff. Like I find a lot of good stuff on Rumble. I just started uploading to Rumble. I'm thinking of just doing something that's only on Rumble. I'm working that out though, I'll figure that out. And but you know, the exciting pertinent information once I'm done with it. But the yeah, you can still kind of do videos about that stuff, but you can't really talk to anyone in a forum anywhere unless you're commenting on like a video or something. It's kind of amazing. There's a lot of sidewalk here, but for some reason, it doesn't matter where the fuck I am, it's like I'm in someone's way. I'm not in someone's way, but you would think I was by the way people fucking act. Yeah, the kid with the backpack was so close to me, I could smell his body smell. That's not cool, I don't like that. That's one thing about here, like, no one has any respect for personal space. They don't know what it is. They don't understand what it is. And they're not trying to be assholes. You know, it took me a while to come around to that. Because I used to fucking freak out all the time. Like, what the fuck? And then it took me a while to realize, oh, they're just fucking all brain dead. You know, most of them are fucking brain dead. They're not trying to be dicky. They're just like, they see a couple inches and they put themselves in it. Like, I don't like to stand right on the curb, especially on a street like that, like Kalakaua, because if you stand like that, in Kahio especially, they don't have a lot of buses here. But if you stand too close to the curb on Kahio, you'll get your head taken off with one of these mirrors on the buses. So just out of habit, I don't stand too close to the curb. I usually leave like, I'll go like this, you know? I'll leave this much space. Motherfucker will come and stand right in front of me, like right there, and I'll find myself staring at some man's neck. He's not trying to be retarded or an asshole. He just is a retarded asshole. That's the problem. You have to keep that in mind. And don't take it personal, you know? Because if you, I mean, it's not a personal thing. They don't even notice you're there most of the time. You know, you just kind of, you know, you can see it, you can feel it. The more I become aware of it, the weirder it is. You know, to walk in like a crowd and just feel like, I don't know, it's hard to describe what I mean. But no matter how real or unreal the people around you are, or you think they are, Ice Cube, you still have to treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Your behavior is super important. Your behavior is everything. It's how you react to it. It's like the fucking Kobayashi Maru from Star Trek. I think I brought this example up before. It was a test in Starfleet where you played a simulation where you go to rescue a ship, the Kobayashi Maru. But you get into a situation where no matter what you do, you're going to get killed. The ship's going to be destroyed and you're going to fail the mission. That was a given. That's just how it was set up by the program. And it wasn't about beating it. You couldn't beat it, right? It was about the captain or the captain in training. It was how he handled the defeat, how he treated the other people in his crew while he was losing. It was about his behavior during the test. So this place in the Beast, it's like the Kobayashi Maru. You can't beat him. You're not gonna beat him. You can fuck with him. And I mean old school fuck with them. I don't mean the newer fuck with them, like hang out with them. Dude, that blew my mind. Like, that took me a while to get right. I'm an old man. So to me, if someone's fucking with you, they're messing with you. They're giving you a hard time. But these days, it means like a good thing. Wow. That took me a while to get that down. So you can fight the Beast. You can mess with it. You know, I've talked about here how to mess with it. But you're gonna get slapped. You know, what it is, how, I don't know how deep I want to get into this right now, but when it's fucking with you, right? When you're having a bad day, or you'll get into a series of things, and this can be just shit you would never imagine. Like you lose your car keys, and you're like, what the fuck's my car keys, or whatever. And then you get upset. You being upset about that leads you into another thing to get upset about. And then you'll notice you'll have an event, a bad luck thing after bad luck thing after bad luck thing. It's a spiral to bring you down vibration. These are little traps, you know, that are set. You have to be able to pull yourself out of it. It could be just really weird, just random things like that that can start bringing you down. That's the system messing with you. If you start messing back with it, like being cute with it, like, oh, I don't care about losing the car keys. However, I don't have a good explanation right now, a good example right now, of course I don't, because I never do. But if you can kind of mess with it back. And what I've learned is it has a finite amount of energy on hand. It has an endless amount of energy because it's being powered by us. But there's some kind of bottleneck in their system where if you start sparring with it a little bit, there can be some time before it hits you back. I'll go into this more again recently because I did a whole thing on this a few times. Really interesting. I did some experiments where I would mess with it and then it would mess with me and I'd go back and forth. And what I learned by doing that is that sometimes there's a bit of a bottleneck where it runs out of on-hand energy. Whatever they're using to take our energy to use against us to build this cage, to create this reality, we're powering all this shit. We're endless batteries, so they have endless energy. But whatever they're using to transmute it has some kind of bottleneck. So you can kind of, you can get away with beating it for a while. You know, you can get it down and keep banging it in the head, but then when it comes back, it's going to throw you off. This probably sounds fucking insane. I'll explain it better sometime soon. But yeah, Kobayashi Maru is the beast. You're not here to beat it. It's all about behavior. How the fuck did I get here? Oh man, did I just fucking train wreck myself? But yeah, it's all about your behavior during the test. I've been trying to walk away right now, but I'm kind of pinned down. See what I mean? So what happened is there's no like, I gotta get the fuck off the street is what I gotta do. Okay, we're just gonna go backwards. Going backwards all the way. Usually smoking and filming is enough to keep people away. It's just, I gotta get that opening, you know? When I find that opening, I can go in. This is fucking, what, Wednesday night? Yeah, it's Wednesday night. It's pretty crazy for Wednesday. This all started, how did this all start? With 4chan, shills. Oh yeah, another thing too, and they got wise to this about shills on 4chan, is they would, if an agency is watching a thread, they don't usually do this with ones they start. If they start one with the Pepes, corrupted Pepes, they're already there. But sometimes if a thread catches their eye and they want their co-workers or their maybe superiors to see it, they'll tag it. And one of the ways they would tag it is by doing sneed posting. You'd see this, like, you know, there'd be a good thread going back and forth about something, and someone would just drop like a sneed post. It's like, why are you doing this? And then, come to find out, that's what they do. What it does is it somehow marks that thread so that others working with them can see it and return to it, to monitor it. Well, there's another way that they do this, and if you've ever seen it, it's a behead all Satans. I'll post it. It's like an image with these two like monkey looking things. That's them too. If you see that, it means they're monitoring the thread. Because I feel like they stopped doing the sneed posting thing because too many people to give them shit about it. Like, and I would do the same thing. Like, I'd always go on and tell them what they're doing wrong. And I'm like, why do I always help these guys out? You know, but it's just so mind-blowing. Any of us anons could do a way better job than those guys that are getting paid a lot of money to probably do that stuff. Actually, no, we couldn't. I couldn't do a good job there. Please don't ban me, girls. Yeah, there's a weird feel out here tonight. Not as like, I don't know. Not like a dangerous kind of thing, but it's just a weird feeling. I'm not as relaxed as I usually am. I don't know why. It's not anything that I'm doing. I just kind of, I don't know. Sometimes you just feel it, you know? Like I keep like stopping in the middle of saying something or thinking about something, like I'm expecting something to happen. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, what it portal at the White House. Shills on 4chan. Corrupted Pepe. Digital mark. Yeah, I covered everything. There's nothing else to talk about. I just settled all that science. We'll take another swing up here on Trujillo. I wanted to keep going on Colacao, but there's just too many people. I was fucking pinned on that curb for a while. I was only standing there because I wanted to keep walking and step back in, but there was just no break, you know? I don't know how people do it. Like, they'll walk the whole length of that street, or like this street, in like a little herd. Like, it doesn't bother them, you know? It's not just a me thing, because like my wife's the same way. She's like, what the fuck? She's always trying to jockey to get away, and my friends do the same thing. But some people just, it's like they're not, it doesn't bother them being in like a cattle herd kind of. It's weird. The creepy thing about those little herds too is a lot of times no one's saying anything to each other. It's just quiet. They're slowly moving, like a group of people just not saying anything. So then you don't say anything because, you know, if you start talking to someone, now you're the one everybody's listening to. That's why I try to get out of it when I'm doing videos too, because like you become the center of attention. Yeah, it's just pretty nuts for well, actually no, I guess it's been like this lately. It's good, you know. They need the tourism. Maybe not as much as they have. I think, you know, that's the real problem with Hawaii. Like people say, like, you know, they need the tourism. The tourism is great. They don't really have anything else here except that. So they have to have the tourism. It's just they don't have to have this much tourism. You know, like the amount of tourism they have. Jesus, here we go again. It's not easy. It's not easy, guys. But yeah, when the tourism begins to impact residents, and I don't mean residents here in Waikiki, like you expect it if you live here, you know. I mean, it's just part of, it's fine. You know what you're getting into. But outside of the tourist areas, tourists tend to be going all the time more out to these sort of off the beaten path places, where there are neighborhoods and private beaches, or not really private, but you know, beaches that locals use. And when they start invading those areas, it hurts the quality of life for people. And that's when it's not worth it. The problem is, though, the people that live here, and some people that were raised here, born here, grew up here, have generations here, they don't benefit at all from any of this. They're told they do, but they don't. They don't. And that's kind of always been that way here, like historically. It's too bad. It's a sad kind of situation, but it's kind of how it's always been. Yeah, like what is it, a year, 10 million people through here. Waikiki, a year. I mean, 8 million would be okay too, you know. They'd still make plenty of money. But again, the money's going offshore. It's going to companies and people that don't live here or really know anyone that live here. The big money, I mean. Yeah, it does help local people with jobs and stuff like that, but they're just getting crumbs. The guys and the people that are making the real money, the bankers, they maybe have a house way out in the middle of the island or something that they stole from indigenous people. You know, a compound. They have those. But they're not living in an area where they have where the tourism has any kind of impact on them at all. You know. But yeah, like when instead of 10 million, 8 million, but what do? You can't put a, you know, you can't put a limit on that. There are ways you could, I guess, if you wanted to, as far as decentralizing things, but they're never going to do that because they, you know, just want more and more and more money. But the money doesn't come back here. It's the whole thing. And like I said, it's been like historically, that's kind of how it's been for this place and its people. But that's not my place to comment on. I mean, I can in a general sense, as if someone watching the beast via central banking, raping another group of people, generally. But you know, I don't know. I don't have the experience of, you know, being a islander who's been here generations. I don't know what those kind of feelings you get from watching your stuff get sold and your culture be commodified in every possible way, and the people making the money to get the fancy pants don't even live here. It's fucking sad. But that's the way the beast works, you know. It's how it's always worked. It's how it works everywhere. Not just here. Not just here. But not for long. God willing, we're gonna live to see it go down. And then we get out of here finally. Fucking finally. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school. 31 minutes. Shit, I'm sorry, guys. I hope that was kind of fun. I had a good time. All the pleasures on this side of the screen.